What are you making?
Yakitori.
What is that?
Japanese stuff on sticks.
Oh.
Right, cool. Sunday sessions. We are making yakitori, which is Japanese grilled chicken. The term yaki meaning grill and tori meaning chicken. I'm just going to double check that. Yaki meaning grill and tori meaning chicken. We are doing today wings and thighs. Normal everyday chicken thigh, oyster cut, oyster being the bit of the thigh that's attached. This one hasn't got one. Oyster is the bit that sits right in the bum, right? Just on the backbone, doesn't really do anything, but it's a prized piece of chicken, right? So we're gonna take the bone out, find where the bone is, and then run your knife just down it, right? Making sure you're touching the bone the entire time. So here you can see I've exposed the bone. This bit here is bone. I'm gonna put my knife just here where the meat's touching the bone again. Cut that open. Now from here, little slits like that, just bringing the meat away, yeah? And you're gonna get to a point where you can pinch like this. You can pinch the bone and the meat and like get your thumb for it. All we wanna do is stick our knife in that little hole, angle the knife upwards, off it comes. And then the same on this side, I'm just gonna scrape this meat away. And then here, bang, straight through. There's a tiny bit of cartilage left on this thigh. I'm just gonna peel it off. A little knife, like so. I'll do that again. I like using chicken thighs with bone in. Chicken thighs are the first thing that I learned how to take the bone out of. My dad taught me before I was a chef how to take a bone out of a chicken thigh. I like the difference in meats. I like that some of it's white meat, some of it's dark meat, better flavour, different muscles, good skin content, and genuinely just a fattier part, which means more flavour, more smoke, better cooking. So I've done that to all of my thighs. The Japanese are quite meticulous when it comes to yakitori. Each part of the chicken breaks down into multiples. So we are gonna do oyster, which is that little nugget that we were talking about. We're gonna do fatty inner thigh, which is what I'm gonna show you next. And then we're just gonna do everyday thigh pieces, yeah? So where this chicken thigh would have had a bone in it here, right? And it would have been like this, yeah? We've taken the bone away and we're left with this chicken thigh. Now this here is known as the chicken inner thigh, right? So we're just gonna chop this little nugget out, and you'll see once you start to make slits, it does peel away like it's not supposed to be there. And that is inner thigh, the softest part of a chicken thigh, right? So we're just gonna do this to all of them. And I'm just making little cuts following the chicken's natural line. And out comes this little bit of dark, delicious flesh. So just here, like you can almost lift it here, the difference between the meats. And where it lifts, I'm just gonna do little strokes with a sharp knife, and that's the inner thigh. So look, this is a little pile, inner thigh. That's our chicken thigh again. The bone was here, we've taken away the inner thigh, right? Bone's out. This little circular piece here is the chicken oyster, right? And it's known to be the softest part of a chicken thigh. And we're just gonna get that out. Now the reason I'm not slicing is I want the skin to stay on the oyster. So by chopping like that straight through, we get to keep that little nugget of chicken with the skin on, which is gonna be good for smoke, and it's gonna be good for flavor. It's a delicate little part of a chicken, this, and we wanna make sure that we prep it right. And like this one's got a little bit extra excess skin. I'm just gonna snip this away and have a little pile of chicken oysters. Someone getting their roof done. we're gonna do, how many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna do 4 skin on, 4 skin off. So skin on, there's a little bit of skin here that would have been attached to the drumstick that holds the thigh together. Take this little bit of skin off so you can work with a flat piece of meat. This little excess fat on the corner, make sure there's no cartilage left, and almost like square them off so you're working in straight lines. We then want to go fattest part off first, because they're going to need longer to cook, and those are going to go into little rectangular dice, right? And then this middle part that's quite skinny, just once down the middle. Right, so if you're not familiar with yakitori, it's the Japanese art of breaking down the chicken and grilling it over open fire, normally over really special Japanese charcoal. Very common in little bars in Japan that normally just specialize in yakitori. There's a famous restaurant that people go to now called Sticks and Sushi. The sticks element of that restaurant is all yakitori. But traditionally it should be chicken and it should be cooked over open fire. So that's our normal fire stuff done. I'm gonna put these fires to one side. And now I wanna do, I really like chicken wings. Did I hit the mic? Yeah. I really like chicken wings, right? So I'm gonna show you how to prep a chicken wing for a yakitori. So I've only got the flat parts of our chicken wing, right? And what we wanna do, instead of grilling this whole, we want to open it up so that it's got the ability to crisp on the skin side and cook gently on the inside. So I'm just going to make a little slit, stick my finger in and find where the bone is, put my knife on that bone and just follow it down, but not cut away all the way through, right? So look, the bone here is exposed, knife in, just following the bone, opening it up, right? I'm going to do the same on the other bone. So there's 2 bones in a chicken wing. One's a skinny one, one's a fat one. And we're just going to manipulate with our knife this like fanning action. So once you've exposed the bones, the bits of meat that were attached to it are now falling away and they're going to lay flat. And that is our flat bone chicken wing. Delicious. I reckon if you ask your butcher kindly enough, they might do this for you. It is quite a bespoke order, so don't feel hard done by if they say no, because this is quite a long team. But if you're going to do this for friends and family, or just for you and your loved one, start off with fires because they're easy, you can prep them, and then slowly start to move into things that need more intricate butchery. Butterfly chicken wing. Now, with the other sides of the chicken wing, the drum bit, easier to prep. Take yourself a drum, just like this, still got a little bit of breast on. We're gonna run our knife down the middle until we hit the bone. Expose the bone like we did with all the other stuff. So this is the same principles as a chicken thigh, but instead of taking the bone out, we're leaving the bone in. Slowly follow the meat that sits around the top of this bit of cartilage here, and then that fans out and you've got yourself a flat drumstick chicken wing. Opening it up, opening the chicken up gives you more control, but it also gives you an opportunity to season on the inside as well as the outside. So I've made a little sauce and I've made a salt that are both flavored. And yeah, you can still get flavor by putting them on the outside, but by opening it, we have more control on cooking. We can figure out whether we want crispier or if we've got a hot section or a cold section on our barbecue. But this just means that we're getting more flavor coverage in and around, in the nooks and crannies, leaving the bone in so that the bone can roast and give us that smoky flavor. It's all little things that are thought about. Let's skewer some up. So, bamboo skewers, soaked overnight. What we're gonna do, let's start with our little inner thigh parts first. And we're just gonna pinch and straight on. Now, don't do this in the air. It's easier to do it on the board. Pinch and put through. And the board's just giving you that little extra bit of stability, and it makes sure that everything's flat and nothing moves when you turn, right? So I'm just pinching it up, almost like tightening the meat like you would with a shish, so the muscles contract so that when the skewer goes in, that they're all stuck to that one little skewer. Are you going, Ty? Oh, bro, you should eat this, man.
Traffic kicks in as well.
Love my brother. Thank you for the drinks.
Have a good one.
Appreciate you, bro.
Send me a picture of it.
I will. So pinch and in. Pinch and in. And then there I can start to like bash out, flatten. And that is our inner thigh yakitori. Uniform, flat, working in angles, straight lines. Beautiful. You get to eat it like that, like a little small doner kebab. If I cut with knife, small doner kebab. That's our inner thigh. Oyster. We're gonna do the same thing, right? So we're gonna go pinch, contract the muscle, pierce the skin, pierce the meat, and go through. All that really soft, delicious meat. Now, I've gone quite big on them. You can go small. Traditionally, they are quite small, but it's my version. I'm in my garden, and I don't want to be skewering meat all fucking day. You get me? So, with the chicken thigh, I want to do a couple bits of spring onion, yeah? So I'm just going to prep these bits of spring onion. I want the thickest ones possible, just so that we have like a similar cooking time. Take the tops off. And spring onions can be quite sandy, so make sure that you peel them back and give them a little rinse. I just want to measure up a chicken spring onion by a bit of chicken thigh and go same size. And that's how you make sure that everything's uniform. So now we're going to go spring onion straight through the middle, chicken thigh, put a little bit of pressure in, chicken thigh is on. Then we're going to go another bit of spring onion, and we're almost going to use this to trap our piece of chicken in so it has less maneuverability. So the idea is now that's all fat side, that's all meat side, and we can control smoke and flavor by turning, right? So that's a chicken thigh done. Let's do a wing. So I've got 2 bone wings. These are going to be 2 on a skewer. And what I want to do is go in through here at the bottom, underneath both bones, and then come out here. And look, fully attached, like a flag. Save me. I'm drowning in tare and yakitori. But yeah, just repeat this process. So straight through, underneath the first bone, underneath the second bone, out the other side, and then just give them like a little stretch. the more stretched they are, the more surface area we get, the more control we have whilst cooking, yeah? Chicken thigh, done. Sorry, chicken wing, done. I'm gonna do one more because as much as yakitori is fucking delicious and it's great and it's tasty, there always isn't enough, right? Because it's fucking, you've got to skewer it up, you've got to do this to it, you've got to do that to it. And I don't want to just cook them and then have 30 seconds of sheer enjoyment. I want to be able to eat a few before I'm like, all right, cool, I'm all yakitori'd out. Right, let's do the big wing. So big wing, in through the thickest part. We're gonna go 2 skewers on a big wing. So start this one on the left-hand side, push it through. Second skewer on the right-hand side, underneath the bone, going through any meat that we've got exposed and coming back out at the top, like so. Yakitori. I'm like pinching the meat as I do it, giving it a little contraction, and that helps it hold. Ta-da! So, big wing, little wing, normal thigh, oyster, inner thigh, right? This would probably cost you 90 quid. No joke. I've used some fucking chicken and I've put it on sticks. In a yakitori restaurant, this shit will cost you a lot. The thing is, oysters, there's only 2 on each bird. So you've only got a certain amount of number of birds in your restaurant. So oysters go out quick. Inner thigh, yeah, tasty. We've broken down thighs. Bog standard, paying for prep. Also paying for prep, right? Now, at this point, let's talk about barbecue. So I've got a barbecue set up. Yakitori is cooked hot, right? Hot, and you're gonna fan because ash over charcoal means trapped heat, and we really want hard, fast heat here, yeah? So I've got a little fan, and this is gonna take off any ash, and we're gonna go red hot straight away. So traditionally, it'd be a hibachi grill, which is about this size, ceramic, traps all the heat in and forces it upwards. Also, a specific charcoal that's like pressed, that heats up for longer and holds its heat longer. We're doing bog standard, everyday charcoal, couple of Adana shish to mimic that, and we're gonna keep the heat up by fanning. That's all we're gonna do. We're gonna look after and control. Before we go any further, I'm gonna talk to you about things I've done off camera. Here he is with his Ducati. So this is called tare, ladies and gentlemen. This is called tare. This is what your yakitori... So this is tare, yeah? This is what your meats get dipped into. Now this is like a mother sauce. That in yakitori restaurants they'll keep going and adding grilled bits of meat to it at the end of the night, or spring onions or pieces of ginger. We've just done a bog standard basic 150 mils of sake, 150 mils of mirin, bring it up to the boil, burn the sake off, add in 6 tablespoons of soy sauce and 3 tablespoons of sugar. Let the sugar reduce, and then what you want is it needs to be able to coat your finger, and that way we know it's going to stick to our yakitori, right? That's the sugars, that's made it like syrupy and glossy. Delicious. The only other thing we're going to do is we're going to season with salt, and we're going to spread over some sake on our chicken, and then I've made a little flavored salt here that's nori sheets, which is the outside of a sushi, MSG, sugar, chili flakes, sesame. 3 pieces of nori, 2 tablespoons of sesame seeds, a teaspoon of sugar, a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of MSG, and then whatever chili flake you want to use. But delicious. So, I've got a little paintbrush and some sake here, and I'm just going to brush some sake. Sake is a Japanese cooking wine. over this. Don't want loads, so spread it on both sides. And this is going to be like our first level of like umami flavour, that background of yum, unctuous, delicious, all of those words that TV chefs use, right? And then from here, I'm just going to go more than sea salt, so I'm not going to go loads. Just a little introductory, hello, nice to meet you, I'm seasoned, as are you, that kind of vibe, right? And then, like a true hibachi man, big wing, down. Little wings on next. Right, so I've just doubled up my skewers, so I've got more control. Yakitori skewers are normally thicker. I could only get thin bamboo ones, so I'm just gonna double up and make sure that we can turn without bits of meat moving about the place. We don't want to spend all that time prepping and then it gets down to the nitty gritty and you lose all of your yakitori. Let's get these on. Yeah, that's better. When you get flare-ups like this is where the fan comes in. So now we're not allowing the fire to come up and just using the intense heat, right? So you want to flap the fire away. But anything that does burn or catch or isn't up to standard, you just chop away with a pair of scissors. Face them downwards. Pull them off, pull them on. We're going to build slow, smoky flavours. But not fucking burn them. Nice and hot, hard and fast. So I know this looks stressful, right? And you've got to be constantly turning and looking and make sure shit ain't burnt. This is the way yakitori's cooked. This is how you have to be about it. You can't fucking leave this alone and expect it to be delicious. You've got to juggle it, but also you've got to cook it at a high heat. Because we want the outside to take on as much flavour as possible, but we want the inside to stay fucking succulent and delicious. So we want smoke, we want fat drips, but we don't want fire. Yakitori. Beautiful smell in the air from sake. And soon we're going to dip this son of a bitch in some sauce and stick it on a plate. It's not going to be the prettiest, but it sure is going to be fucking delicious. Right, wings are going to come off first, yeah? So, look. Crispy, delicious, fucking dancing. I'm going to take this tare. I'm going to give it a little hello, hi, how are you? On for 30 seconds. Now from there, I've got my little seasoning. I'm just going to put on the top. This is oyster. And this is inner fire. This is the fucking the money shot, this one. A little bit of the seasoning on the top. A little tiny bit of cheeky monkey. Start off with bones. Look at these, man. Look at the fucking colour on that. Insane. Now, traditionally, you wouldn't get the extra seasoning that I put on top, but I just thought, why not give it a little bump of something delicious? Pull this off. Oh yeah. That is fucking good, man. Sweet, soy, smoky, and then like really big hits of like seaweed and mirin. Yeah, wing good. Let's move on to, this is everyday, this is just chicken thigh. The food sits. One thing you don't know about food TV is the food sits for a little while, so I'm just going to give it a little zhuzh. A little spring onion and some chicken thigh. Really soft, delicate. Look, just cooked. All that intense heat's giving it a nice crispy outside, but a just cooked, soft, juicy middle. Yes, please, thank you. That's 2 for 2. Now, I know you're looking at this and probably like, oh, don't they all taste the same? But they don't. It's different textures. The wing was like gelatinous, fatty, crispy. That piece of chicken thigh was soft, breaks away. Sweetness from like cooked spring onions. Then we've got inner thigh, which is supposed to be the softest, and oyster. Let's go oyster. This is that little secret bit on the top of the thigh. Oh fuck, man. This tastes like yakitori. So look, it's a dark meat, so it's got loads of chicken flavour. Crispy on the outside, nice sweetness. I would make this if I was you. And then we've got inner thigh. Oh man. Yeah, that's my favourite. Look at that. Japanese chicken shish. You can eat this as is, just sticks of meat, pickles, rice. Sometimes they give you a little egg yolk to whisk it into. But just eat nice bits of chicken, the odd bit of vegetable, different parts, and just fucking play around with it, have fun. I don't want to say have fun because it sounds like a Blue Peter. But understand that that's the part of the cooking element, is like the fierce control and learning how to make sure the fire doesn't flare up and flapping away and getting your seasonings right will all end up in a beautiful piece of fucking chicken like this. That honestly, if you rocked up to someone's barbecue and was like, I've got some chicken inner thigh and some tare, they'll be like, yeah, cool, come in, open the door, sit down, put your feet wherever you want to put them, king. That's what they'd treat you like. This tare sauce, I'm gonna save whatever I've got left and I'm just gonna put it in fucking rices for dinners and stuff, because this is fucking legit, man. These bits are for George. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you do yakitori in your garden with all of these different parts of the chicken. Thank you. Make this, honestly, big man ting. This is a fucking sound system banger. Yeah, bassline, junkie, all of that stuff. All of the raving words. I fuck with this one heavy. Arigato. Arigato.
Top House Films.
Can you say films?
Film.
Films.
Films.